So this video is really for organizational leaders. So if you're a CEO, business owner, if you're a leader of some sort in your business, in your organization, this video is really meant for you. Because at the moment that this video was created, we're in the midst of a pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And the government has requested, in the US specifically, has requested that we stay at home, stay away from people, social distancing, all the buzzwords that are new to us that were born out of this pandemic. And one of the things that we have found is that many organizations that are capable of doing it have sent their employees home, and they're starting to find ways to keep them working in a remote capacity. That means video conferencing, that means email, that means telephone conferencing. What it doesn't mean is that we're sitting in a room or we're sitting in a centralized office space communicating with each other face to face, in the sense that we're in the same room. So how do we, this is the biggest question I get, how do we manage our employees, our remote employees? How do we manage a remote team? Well, the truth of the matter is the foundation of it is with communication. Now, obviously, we could argue that the foundation is really technology. Yes, the technology is going to be extremely important, but we're going to go ahead and assume that you have technology in place, whether it be Zoom video conferencing or WebEx or some other form, Google Meet, whatever it is, you're going to use some sort of technology to communicate video conferencing. So we're going to assume that technology is understood. I want to talk to you about communication, though. Now, we obviously still have email, and we obviously still have phone. And those are standard practices for communicating. Phone really is meant for something that's urgent. It absolutely has to be dealt with right now. So you pick up the phone and you call and you say, "Hey, Joe, hey, Sue," and you give them the urgency of what it is. Email is many times less urgent. Email should be used on a weekly basis, maybe bi-weekly basis, where you're just sending out objectives, goals, whatever it is that you're trying to communicate to the team. And by the way, if you are the CEO, you might have some of your mid-level managers and supervisors disseminating the information through their channels rather than a blast out to the whole team. As the CEO, you might reserve corporate communication for big subject matter items like we're going remote, or we're going to stay remote, or you need to come back to the office on X date because the government says it's okay. So corporate communication is really the highest level of communication from the company. And then if you would, you could disseminate information through the proper channels within your organization, the hierarchy channels, if you want to call it that. But there's other means of communication. The email is less important, and it's meant to be objectives and things to keep in mind and things that we want to work on during the bookends of emails that I send out. Once a week, you should have a check-in. Now, if you have a hierarchy in your organization where there's supervisors or mid-level managers or vice presidents or whatever the case may be, you're going to need to let them handle their own divisions and their own departments and so forth. And then you, as the CEO, will meet with your VPs or whoever your direct reports are. Once a week, especially in a time like this, but once a week, it is not unusual for a company to have a company-wide meeting. And I've written about this in books that I've written on open organizations and how remote work really works. And what we find is that if you get on a video call, video conference, and you just are uplifting, maybe you're motivational, maybe you're giving some positive feedback, maybe you're sharing some wins. The whole idea of the group meeting is really to share the wins and to celebrate. But the secondary part of that is that you may have to deal with some serious subject matter that really should come from your own mouth where people are seeing you speak into the video. So keep that in mind as you're working through this communication process. Now, beyond a corporate-wide weekly meeting, you should be holding a check-in meeting with your direct reports. Now, what is a check-in meeting? Check-in meeting is usually no more than 15 to 30 minutes in length, and it's basically housekeeping. Here's some things we need to know, here's some goals, and then you go around round robin style or whatever, where you say, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any concerns? Does anyone have some ideas on XYZ? So when you're dealing with remote work, communication is key. If you're not having regular touch points with your direct reports and the broader team as a whole, you're going to start losing some employees because they're going to drift away, they're going to get less interested, they're not going to do their work. But if you're having regular meetings, it keeps the excitement, it keeps the momentum, it keeps the focus on the goals and objectives of the organization. So communication is key to the success of remote work. Now, if you have any questions on any of this, or you need some help taking your organization remote, if you need help getting coached through the processes of communication and some of the other techniques that I'm going to bring you in the coming days in videos, then I'm going to ask you to just reach out to me. You can send a message to me below this video. You can email me at info@maximumchange.com. You can reach out to me in many different formats. I would love to hear from you. I can set up a 30-minute consult with you to talk about how I can help you and your organization with their remote needs. And now is the time to think about this, because as I laid out in my video yesterday, that I believe with this pandemic, it's going to force a lot of organizations to move to a remote platform for the remainder of their business. So hope you have a great day. And again, if there's anything I can do to help you, I'm Dr. Foster with MaximumChange.com. My email is info@maximumchange.com. You can send a message to me through this platform or any other social media platforms that I'm connected with that you can find me, or you can go to my website, MaximumChange.com. Have a good day.